Today we're going to talk light wind and how to get up in the lightest wind, wing foiling. Let's go. Thanks for joining us. Today we have an exciting video. We're going to talk about light wind and how to get up in the lightest wind. The technique is going to be a game changer. The gear, of course, is going to be a game changer. But without the technique, it's not going to work really well. And this technique translates to so many aspects of foiling. So if you can work on it and master it, it's really going to improve a lot of areas of your foiling. You know, whether you only wing foil, you can also use it in stronger wind. It's a universal technique that's really important to work on, so we're going to touch on it today. But first, we want to say thank you to everybody that's supporting us through wingfoilprocenter.com. It's our new shop and school, so if you come here to Florida, we can also teach you those skills. I came up with the idea of making this video because I recently got a lesson exactly on that, so it's all fresh in my mind on how to explain it. So we're gonna touch on it. Check out Wingfoil Pro Center. We appreciate the support. Let's get into it. So the pumping technique to get up wing foiling really has a lot to do with the pumping the foil. Of course, there is pumping the wing as well, and I would recommend when you are still new to it, learning wing foiling, I recommend just not messing everything up and just focusing on the wing. But at some point, if you just pump with your wing, that's not gonna be enough for you to get up in the lightest wind. So you're gonna have to include the foil pumping, which ultimately is gonna, I would say, be 60-70% of the result of you getting up more than you're pumping the wing. So it's a very important skill that we need to learn. The skills you need to practice what we are going to talk about today, not necessarily really high. Maybe you are learning how to jibe. Definitely you want to be able to like foil both ways. If you can foil both ways, you are dipping your toes into jibing, you are ready to start practicing. But I see plenty of people that can jibe both ways consistently and are still making mistake when they are trying to get up on foiling light wind. So this is a very important skill that you're gonna maybe struggle with at the very beginning to pretty late if you don't work on it. So the idea is your foil is gonna pick up speed always when it goes down. When it goes up, it's going uphill. So you can't pick up speed when you are going uphill. So think about it exactly as biking. If I have a steep hill and I stop in the middle of the hill and I try to climb it, it's gonna take so much effort to climb up this hill. If I get a downhill first, pick up speed, and then climb this hill, it's gonna be much easier. So that's what we are trying to do when we pump the foil, is always go down between each small hill so that I can pick up speed to climb this hill. Common mistake is we are just pumping uphill. So then that takes a lot of wind. If you have a huge wing, plenty of wind, no problem, you're gonna climb this hill. But if you are in light wind and you can't get up, by pumping your foil up, which is what I see is your nose is pointed up, and maybe you are pumping it, but it goes to up, less up, less up, less up. It's still up the entire way. That's gonna take so much power to get up, and you are literally putting on the brakes right here. What you really need to do is, yes, you want to go up, but in this phase where your nose is pointed up, you are pretty much weightless at this point. You are hopping, you are going up, almost no weight on the bird, you let it rise, and when you push again to hop again, in this phase, your bird is slightly tilted down. That's when you start picking up speed. So it's very important that I'm not pushing on the bird when my nose is pointed up. If I push when my nose is pointed up, I'm putting on the brakes. Unless I have plenty of power in my wing, that's not gonna work. A good way to know if you are doing it right, ask one of your friends to film yourself. Check out your takeoff. Is your nose pointed up the entire way? The idea is that when my nose again is pointed up, I'm relieving my weight. I'm going weightless. I can't go weightless for 5 seconds, you know. So if you are pointed up for 5 seconds, you are putting on the brakes. It can only go up for a second while you go weightless, and then boom, you bring it down again. So during the takeoff phase, what I like to say is you want to try to slap the bird on the water. Think about it as like rock skipping. You are slapping that bird and you are taking off slowly, consistently. It's not a steep hill that you climb and then boom, you are up. It's small steps to get up to your altitude. So think about it. It's not big climb. It's gonna be climb, downhill, climb, downhill, climb, downhill, all the way until you make it up. Another way to test it, if you are doing it right, is once you are up on foil, practice your pumping, put your wing down, and are you able to keep pumping consistently for you know, let's say 5, 6, 10 pumps, or after 2 pumps, are you down? If you are down after 2 pumps, most likely you've been pushing with your nose up and you've been putting on the brakes. So there is another important drill that you can practice on any day. Maybe there is no wind, you want to practice it, no wind at all, you don't even need your wing. You are going to go out with your bird, you need to be able to stand on it, and you are going to do the pumping without your wing. Just because we said the pumping technique when you get up on foil with your wing is mostly the legs, boom, we eliminate the wing and we're going to put it to the test. Are you really being efficient with your pumping technique? The goal is to try to generate speed with your pumping. So if you are just rocking the bird back and forth, staying in one place, it's not working out. If you are able to generate speed and move forward, we are getting somewhere. So then you're going to have to time this with your wing pumping. The wing pumping, again, is more of a circular motion, going to grab the wing, and at the moment when I pull, I'm also pushing with my legs. So I'm combining the two forces that I have, which is the pull from my wing, the push downhill on my bird. I combine these two and I'm generating speed. When I go back to grab more wind, that's when I'm going weightless and boom. So it's pushing, pulling in the same time, so that every time I go get more wing, more air in my wing, I'm weightless, boom, going forward. The other thing is, if you notice, and that's universal for all like the foil pumping technique, is the back heel is lifting when I'm going weightless. And one of the reasons for that is that most of my weight is on my front. If my weight is on my back, one, I won't be able to lift my heel because my weight is on my back. But also, that's when I'm going to be pumping uphill. So if my weight is on my back and I'm pumping like that, I'm putting on the brakes. I'm leaving my nose up, and slowing down, not allowing the bird to pick up speed. So let's say my nose is going this way. I'm over my front foot and I'm pumping with my back leg, but my back leg is more like, let's say, on and off, really tapping. But my front leg is more consistent. Why? Because I need to keep consistent power over the front to prevent the foil to rise. I don't want to let the foil rise before I get up to speed. The foil wants to rise because I'm almost starting to have speed, but I'm at the stall speed. If I let it rise, I'm killing the power, I'm killing the speed. I'm like slowing down. So it wants to rise, I'm keeping it down. That's why my weight is mostly over the front and tapping over my back. So if you look at my feet here, are you able to tap like that with your toes? That's not what we're gonna do when we pump, but that's the proof that my weight is over my front leg. So if you can tap, my hip is over my front leg and there is almost no power in my back, boom, we are good here. And now pumping is gonna be just like that. I'm tapping with the back and synchronizing it with my wing so that when I pull, I tap. When I go get more, I'm relieving my weight. So we covered this exact same technique in a previous video on how to pump foil a couple of weeks ago, so you can check it out. It's all the same technique. That's why you can practice it even before practicing in a takeoff. When you are already up on foil, you can practice your pumping. It's going to be the same technique, and it's going to be more forgiving when you are already up on foil and you have some power in your wing. So I would say practice it when you are during your session. Every session you go out, you have some power in your wing, pump, maybe depower your wing a bit to test if it's really working. Are you able to generate speed with your pumping? If you are feeling great about it, put your wing down, keep pumping. Is it working? Pick up your wing again. And then, like I said, that drill where you go out on no wind days, and are you able to generate some speed without anything, without a paddle, without a wing? That's truly putting your pumping technique to the test. If you had a massive foil, by just doing that, you would start taking off. It's going to be the same pumping technique. That pumping technique, whether your board is on the water or above the water, that is generating speed, and that's what you need to get up in light wind, is using your pumping on top of the tiny bit of air that you have in your wing, the tiny bit of power you have in your wing. So again, ask one of your friends to film yourself on your takeoff and analyze that video. What's gonna show is if your nose is pointed up the entire time and it's never coming back down, you are making it harder to take off because you are uphill the entire time, and there is absolutely no way you can relieve your weight for 5-10 seconds. It has to come down. When your board is pointed down, that's when you can push again to get up. But every time I'm hopping, every time I'm going up, I'm hopping, I'm going weightless, and that's helping my foil rise with minimal power. So I hope this video is helpful. The goal is to help you get out there every day. And truly what's amazing is with the advancement of the gear, we are able now to wing foil in such light condition. This is a downwind burn. I would say again, don't start wing foiling with the downwind burn. It's going to be a bit more tricky. But as soon as you can pretty much foil both ways, you can get a downwind burn as long as you get the right size. And I can help you pick the right size. Reach out to me, wingfoilprocenter.com. This is the KT Dragonfly. Absolutely love it. 4 light wind. The Razor 980 from Subfoil, my favorite foil for anything, light condition, light waves, light wind. This is a really good foil. The Mantis from Cabrina, tons of power. I absolutely love it. This is the Apex, which is special fancy material on the leading edge, smaller leading edge, super stiff. That's the gear I love for light wind. Get out there, spend the time, and help other people. If you see somebody struggling, let them know, hey, maybe you could do this, it's gonna help you. And don't hesitate to ask if there is a guy that's really skilled on your spot. Hey, how do you do this? It's a community, everybody's helping each other. Also drop your comment if I missed something, if you've noticed in your experience, hey, this has really helped me, get up in lighter wind, share it. So get out there, share the stock, live your best life, and we'll see you guys next week.